Cold, rude, snobby. That's what I've always heard about Milan, Italy. And according to a text from my southern Italian cousin, the southern Italians who move to the north lose the sun. They become gray, cold. So today, we're gonna see if Milan lives up to its reputation. Plus discover how one of the world's most iconic paintings nearly went unfinished, and explore a dark corner of Milan's past. So let's get into Milan. I'm struck by the elegance of Milan the moment I arrive at Milano Centrale. This station looks like it was designed to impress, but the second I step outside, Milan changes. Gray skies, an icy wind. Milan scoops me up and moves me forward. People rush by. Gone is the warm, laid-back attitude that I've come to love about southern Italy. Milan is busy, focused, and honestly, it's a little intimidating. But the most famous rule of Italian coffee still applies here. No cappuccino after 11. So I order un caffè, and it is good. Rich, elevated, but somehow colder. Not in temperature, but colder in spirit. Maybe my cousin was right about this place. But then Milan pulls out her most famous contribution to the beauty of Italia: perfection in marble. The Duomo is technically Italy's largest church, and maybe its most painstaking. Started in 1386, finished almost 600 years later. Not because Milan was slow, but because Milan was early. The city imagined something medieval Italy wasn't ready to build yet. So every century added new skills, new tools, new ideas. Even back then, it seemed like Milan was waiting for the rest of Italy to catch up. This place is rigid, precise, controlled. How can something this pretty be rude? A few blocks away, Milan reminds me not to get too comfortable. YouTube won't let me show you this sculpture, but let's just say it really points the finger at Milan's reputation. While it was created to be a message to the stock exchange located behind it, I feel like it's directed at me, personally. Milan is polished, yes, but polite? Not always. That polish is on full display at the Galleria Vittorio Emanuele, designed by Giuseppe Mangoni, who tragically died falling from its heights days before it opened. Beautiful, precise, regal, but almost too perfect. I wonder, can you find real warmth behind all this polish? I look for answers inside the Church of Santa Maria delle Grazie. The violence of World War II nearly destroyed this place, and the priceless masterpiece inside. Miraculously, Leonardo da Vinci's Last Supper was spared, but it almost didn't get finished in the first place. Da Vinci began his work in 1495, a renowned artist, but not always beloved for his style. Sometimes he would work for hours without a break. Other times he would paint for a few minutes, then disappear for days. The friars of this place got impatient. According to Da Vinci, people of genius often work most when they seem idle. And when a priest complained, he basically replied, "Maybe I'll paint your face as Judas." Milan may celebrate genius, but only if it arrives on time. Walking past the Sforza Castle, Milan shows me its walls again. Named after the Duke of Milan, it became a seat of foreign power under Spanish rule in 1535. I feel more foreign than ever as I pass through its gates. Milan may let you through, but it's hard to really feel like you're a part of her. At dinner, Milan serves me gnocchi with truffles. Rich, earthy, impossibly refined. I speak Italian to the waiter. He refuses to answer me in anything but English. I tell my southern Italian cousin about it. Her response? Tipico stranzo del nord. I'll let you look that one up on your own. Milan is not exactly snobby, just distant. But for what reason? The next morning, Milan gives me an answer. Beautiful day, but freezing cold. The city is located far to the north, practically kissing the Alps. Maybe Milan isn't just cold, it's isolated. Surprisingly, I find a warm, almost jovial vibe in here. I sip espresso next to impeccably dressed men. Style here isn't about fashion. It's armor, structure, power. After World War II, Milan rose from the rubble and remade itself as a fashion capital. You can find some of the most exclusive and expensive shops in the world on Via Monte Napoleone. It's yet another way that I feel removed from this place. It's like Milan ignores me as she struts across the runway. At Pizzium, I order Mortadella e Pistacchio, a northern twist on a southern classic. The creaminess of the burrata cheese on top oozes over the crunchy, acidic saltiness below. The guy at the front, surprisingly, he offers me a limoncello on the house, which feels very un-Milano. So I ask him, di dove sei? He says, Sicilia. Ah, that explains it. This guy has definitely not lost the sun, but his story is very familiar to this place. Milan is the economic hub of Italy, the place where generations of Southern Italians have come to build a different kind of life. For decades, the North has always held the financial advantage over the agricultural South, and you can still feel that divide. Milan values ambition, efficiency, modern things, but to Southern Italians, that ambition can look like valuing the wrong things in life, or forgetting where you came from. But in breaking with tradition, Milan grows a new kind of vision. In the Porta Nuova district, the Bosco Verticale rises like futuristic tree houses. Architect Stefano Bareri imagined a way to bring nature directly into the architecture of the city. It's bold, unconventional, and at first glance, feels a little strange. In a way, that's Milan, a city breaking away from the traditional mold. Sometimes that makes it feel reserved or separated, but it's also what makes Milan a city that isn't afraid of reinventing itself. However, I'm quickly reminded that Milan hasn't completely broken from tradition. From the outside, La Scala is so understated, you could walk right past it without realizing you've just ignored one of the most famous opera houses in the world. But inside, every detail is polished to a shine. Although I am reminded that Milan isn't entirely willing to take you in. La Scala's audiences are infamously demanding, as renowned singer Pavarotti found out in 1992. After his voice cracked slightly while singing a high note, he was booed loudly as he took his final bow. Milan's standards are high, and if you fail to meet them, you will hear about it. And now for something you will not find on any tourist map. Piazzale Loreto looks like an ordinary traffic circle today. You could drive around it and never know its dark history. At the end of World War II, Italy's Nazi allied leader Benito Mussolini was hunted down, shot, and brought to this very location to be strung up with others in his fascist regime. A brutal image, almost medieval, but a powerful message, and one that both the North and South can agree on. Fascism has no place in Italy. Dinner at La Piola makes me see Milan for who she really is. For every way Milan stays a step removed, it has another way of drawing you in. Ossobuco alla Milanese con risotto allo Zafferano is one of those ways. Tender, sweet, juicy meat shank on a bed of Aramaic, saffron-infused buttery rice. Milan may not be the most friendly, but with food like this, I forgive her. This trip has made me realize something. Milan may not be my speed. I still gravitate toward the warmth and beautiful chaos of southern cities like Naples. I personally prefer it over the elegance and perfectionism of this place. But Milan does have her own version of warmth. It's just subtle, reserved, refined, hidden under many layers. She sets high standards, sometimes impossibly high. And yes, that can feel cold, but underneath is a relentless push toward excellence. That is how she shows her warmth, with a firm handshake instead of a hug. And to my Southern Italian cousin, maybe give Milan a break. It's cold up here. Not to mention, a Southern Italian town like Naples has its own reputation.